Good afternoon, everyone. I'm glad to welcome all committee members for the second meeting regarding the architecture workshop. Thank you for being present in this meeting. Jian, has the quorum been achieved?
Yes, Ryan, for information, Chow is on medical leave since yesterday because of dengue, while Ling is attending for Miss Chin's funeral.
Noted, thank you. The purpose of our meeting today is to discuss the activities and programs of the event as stated in the agenda. Today's main meeting agenda will be discussing issues on transportation, registration, games and workshops of the event, and sponsorship. Can we call this meeting to order?
Yes.
Good. Can we proceed to the item on agenda? Regarding of the minutes from the previous meeting, is there any amendment?
Yes, I think there's an error in item number 2, whereby the date of the workshop should be 16th of November instead of 21st of November.
Yes, I agree with Jane.
Alright, is there any other error?
I think that's about it.
Jian, can you please amend it and send everyone the amended copy by end of today?
Yes, I will. Apology for the error.
Alright, in that case, I will sign the minutes as a true record. Before we proceed to the main item on our agenda today, are there any matters to bring up?
Yes, I've got a great news from the person in charge of Bukit Kudu Retreat Hub. They have just confirmed with the availability of the venue, just that we have to confirm the exact number of participants for them to make preparation.
So the rate for the accommodation is 1,200 per night. This package includes 3 meals per day and 1 BBQ party night, 2 for jungle trekking, and even safety equipment for extreme sports.
Is that the best package they can offer us?
Apparently, that is the most suitable package that we can get for this event. The other package indeed are more affordable, which is 800 ringgit and below, but this package do not come with safety equipment. Students are required to buy it by themselves.
How about the accommodations? Hostel provided? Or we have to stay in our own tent?
Oh yeah, the package includes hostel rental. The hostels are well maintained and comes with basic facilities. Each room can accommodate 2 people.
Sorry for interrupting. I have been there for several times. Based on my experience, I would prefer to camp instead of staying in a hostel. The reason why is because our generation has lesser opportunity to experience this kind of primitive skills. I got to learn a lot from my past camping experience. What do the rest of you think?
I think that's a good idea because it costs a lot lesser and it can achieve the aim of bonding students together. It will also make them appreciate what they have now.
That's a good suggestion. However, in my opinion, there will be more preparation work to be done. You will have to prepare the camping equipment beforehand, and due to the lack of camping experience, it might be troublesome to guide 120 participants to build a tent at the same time.
I think that's enough for discussion. I agree with both of your opinions. But considering we will have a large number of participants, it is safer and more suitable that we provide hostel as accommodations. As for the part of primitive skill training and bonding opportunity that can be achieved through the workshop. So, we will proceed with the booking on the 1,200 ringgit venue package.
Okay.
Any our transportation and registration matter to report?
Yes, the application of the college buses have been approved. 4 buses will be given by college. The buses will stand by at Canteen 2 and depart at 7 a.m. Estimated arrival time will be 8:30 a.m. The college will also provide buses for us to return at 6 p.m. on the Sunday evening.
As for registration, we will be accepting application through Google document. Students are required to provide their full name, student identity number, year of study, health status, emergency contact number, and pay a fee of 80 ringgit, which includes accommodation and meals.
Do we require any acknowledgement letter for the students' guardians?
Yes, we will provide an official letter for the applicants after the registrations closed.
Let's discuss in details on our main agenda, item number 5, which is day 1 of the architecture workshop. Shall we start with the program team to explain the program flow for day 1?
Yes, Ryan. For day 1, morning session we will be having a simple opening ceremony, followed by ice-breaking session to separate the participants into groups. Then, in the afternoon, we will have activities number 1, simple shelter workshop. They will be explained by the game team later on. During the night time, we will be having a BBQ party.
Alright, can game team explain the activities for day 1? Start with activity number 1.
Yes, activity number 1 will be one of the workshop, which is building a simple shelter. Participants will have to build a simple emergency shelter using on-site materials. The activity will be an hour long. We will brief the participants on the rules and regulations of the activity during that day as well.
Sorry for interrupt. Isn't shelter maybe too complex to build in a short amount of time? Should we extend the time given to the task?
I agree with Ryan. How about something simpler?
However, by building a shelter, we can improve students' hands-on ability and structural knowledge. Since lecturers mentioned that we are lacking of structural knowledge and we are bad at it, I think it is a good opportunity for all of us to learn though.
Indeed, I totally agree that by building a shelter can improve students' structural knowledge. They are able to practice it in practical, apply architecture theory and skill on the building process. However, the time given is tight. It's quite impossible to construct such a complex structure.
What if we extend the time instead from maybe 1 hour to 2 hours? Will that solve the issue?
Sure. 2 hours should be enough for them to build a simple shelter. But make sure that we will provide clear information and demonstration to guide them throughout the process.
Alright, there will be facilitators and lecturers guiding them throughout the workshop.
Okay, as Jian mentioned earlier, the package includes BBQ party, right? Is there anything we need to prepare?
No, the package includes the food and utensils that are needed for the party, so you don't have to prepare anything for it.
Great. Good start for day 1. Let's proceed to day 2.
We will start day 2 with a talk by our lecturer, which is A.R. Lee. In the afternoon, we will have activity number 2, raft building workshop, and activity number 3, river floating, until late evening. During the night, we will be having a campfire session then.
Can I stop you there for a moment? Will it be too dangerous to conduct river floating session during late evening as it is getting darker? It will increase the chances of accident in the river. Will it be better that we move forward activity number 2, raft building workshop, and number 3, river floating, to morning and noon? Then the talk will be at evening.
Indeed, it will be better. Unfortunately, A.R. will not be available at the evening. He is only available during the morning.
Oh, that's bad. Any other lecturer are available in the evening to conduct the talk?
I think the other will be available. I need to confirm with him.
Fine. Update us on the next meeting on his availability. So, we will conduct activity number 2, the raft building workshop, in the morning, and number 3, river floating in the noon. And lastly, talk in the evening. Is everyone okay?
Yes.
Okay. Can the game team further explain the workshops?
Yes. As mentioned, activity number 2 will be raft building. This workshop requires participants to build a floating raft using on-site materials with their group members. However, we will need to prepare some equipment such as scissors and ropes for the participants. This activity will take about 3 hours. After the participants build their raft, we will move on to activity number 3, which is river floating, the most exciting activity of the day.
I agree, that will be the most exciting part of the day. I have been to some camps that have river floating activities, and it surely is very relaxing and fun, especially when the surrounding is cool and you get to listen to the sounds of nature. Imagine you are in the woods and forget all about the stresses from urban areas, and like you have all the jungles by yourself.
Yes, I totally agree with you. I can't wait to experience that moment. And to construct a floating shaft, you need teamwork. During the process, you get to know each other more, and who knows, you will be getting a new boyfriend or girlfriend the next day.
A new boyfriend with 6 packs. I want that.
Okay, everyone, don't get too far away with your imaginations. Let's get back to our topic, shall we?
Okay.
As Jian mentioned just now, after dinner, we will have campfire session. Mind to explain more of that? There will be 120 participants. How many campfire sites will we have?
We will have 5 campfire sites nearby each other, so we will separating the participants into 5 groups, each group with 24%. Snack and drinks will be provided by us.
Are there any activities during campfire?
Maybe some ghost storytelling session. Most campfire session has this activity though. It will be thrilling and exciting.
Ghost stories during night time in the jungle, I don't think it is appropriate. I would prefer heart-to-heart session. Night are always sentimental.
Since we have different suggestions, why not we vote for the best choice for campfire activities?
I vote for Clifford's suggestion. I think ghost story will not be that good since we're in jungle.
I too vote for Clifford's suggestion. It is a taboo that we shouldn't talk about this in the jungle. It might attract them to us.
Since most of you agree with Clifford's idea, we will proceed with it. Is everyone okay with it?
Yes.
Good. I think that's all for day 2. Let's proceed to the last day of the architecture workshop.
For day 3, morning we will have activity number 4, which is jungle trekking for about 2 hours. Then moving on to the closing and prize giving ceremony, followed by group photo session, and then day 3 ends.
For the jungle trekking, is it included in the package or do we need to pay an extra charges for it?
I think Jian mentioned in the beginning of the meeting that jungle trekking is included in the package.
Oh, I see. Thanks for reminding. May I know how long is the route of the trekking?
There are 2 routes to choose. Route A is about 2 kilometers. We get to see canopy trees and Kubu River stream and get to cross the hanging bridge. This route is quite flat. It does not have any extreme hiking.
Well, Route B is a little bit extreme. In Route B, we get to see the canopy trees as well, and then the Kubu waterfall, and we get to hike to the peak of Kubu Hill to experience the massive view.
Since there is 120 participants, the management of Bukit Kutu Retreat Hub said that we can choose which route we wanted to participate, meaning that participants can choose either Route A or Route B as of their liking.
Alright, again, please make sure that we have sufficient facilitators to guide and assist them along the way.
Sure, we will allocate 2 facilitators at every checkpoint, and along the way there will be 1 facilitator at last of the line, at the first, and also at the sides. We will do head counts every now and then to make sure no one gets lost in the journey.
In addition, we will arrange first aid team at every checkpoint in case of any emergency.
So after the jungle trekking, all participants will go back to their own room, start packing, and then attend the closing ceremony. Am I right?
Yes.
For the prize giving ceremony, any suggestions? We thought of buying hampers for every group as prizes, hampers below 30 ringgit.
I think it will be better to include certificate of participation as well. What about soft skill points? Will soft skill points be awarded to the participants and facilitators from the school management?
For sure, we will provide certificate for all the participants. Can Ling help on the certificate preparation and get our faculty dean's signature? For soft skill point, it will be accredited to them after the event.
Alright, no problem. Leave it to me.
For the hampers, can I assign Jian, Ling, and Clifford? The 3 of you go to shopping mall and buy the hampers. Make sure you keep a copy of the receipt. If not, that's on you.
Alright.
Should we have a cleaning session after all the ceremonies? I think we must be responsible for the cleanliness of the site though.
I agree. As an experienced camper, we must clean up the site before we leave the place. All participants need to clean up as well. We can bring some garbage bags to collect garbage.
That's a great idea. Then Ling, please update on the itinerary and make copy of the latest one for each of us.
Okay, I'll do it as soon as possible.
So that is all for the itinerary for our architecture workshop. Have we covered everything on the main item yet?
No, we still have sponsorship matter to discuss.
Oh yeah. Have we found any sponsors yet?
Yes, Thai PLC Online Society will be sponsoring us for the workshop. They will sponsor us about 3,000 ringgit, so it covers around 80% of the total cost.
I suggest that we prepare a token of appreciation for them as a sign of the gratitude.
Alright, to summarize our discussion for today, the accommodation of this architectural workshop will be at Bukit Kutu Retreat Hub, which costs 1,200 per night. As for the transportation matters, there will be 4 buses standby at Canteen 2 at 7 a.m. Registration matters, we will be accepting applicants through Google Doc with payment of 80 ringgit. As for the workshop itinerary, we will follow what we have discussed earlier today. And we will be sponsored by Thai UC Alumni Society, 3,000 ringgit. Let's move on to the next item of the agenda. Any other business?
Yes, for the equipment needed for the activities, can the game team prepare a list for me? Also the number of equipments needed for activities.
Okay. Anything else from the rest of you? Let's go round the table. See?
No for me?
Clifford? Ling?
No.
Jian?
No, sir.
Great. Let's meet again next week. Same time, same place, right?
Yes.
Thank you for coming and see you next week.